Hey, hi, hey, hello, hi. It's Xaerindar. It's been a while. I've been getting my driver's license. I'm still doing that, and I've been watching ReZero with a friend of mine. Um, really good show, by the way. Really good show. Some things have happened. Some things have happened. I don't know when I will return to my semi-regular upload schedule. Not like I have one. Um, But first things first, I need to talk about something that has been bothering me for a while. Um, and this idea of talking about it came to me last month with a new update in CN, which, for those of you who don't want CN spoilers, this is my warning to you. If you don't want to be spoiled by CN content, click off the video now. Click it off, click off. I'll kill you, I'll stab you. So, most of you, and by most of you, I mean like 5 of you. I'm talking about the guy in the back. Um, you probably know me through my Kazi Friends videos. They probably know me as the Kazi Friends guy. Most people probably know me by my 0-1 video. It's not something I'm particularly content with, but people find it funny, so I'm happy that they find it funny. But for me, my content.
I wonder who has to blame for that one, say.
GB, I'm going to kiss you, but in like a menacing way. And my enjoyment of Arknights has mainly derived from playing with Kazi Friends. And Kazi Friends is something that is dear to me. I made an entire video about it and why it's so special to me. And recently, in the CN server, they have made a faction update, which means that certain units now have multiple factions attached to them, and they benefit from the effects associated with those factions. Some of them have just 2 factions now, and others have 3. I don't think we have any unit with 4 factions yet. I might be mistaken. For example, Yato is now part of Higashi as well as Midnight, and Melantha and both Blazes, Blaze and Blaze Alter, are part of Victoria. Now, you might be thinking, why are you talking about this and why are you talking about Kazi Friends? Well, you see, there has been a really big change regarding Kazi Friends, which is both Fangs, Defender Neural, Degenbrecher, Viviana, and Catapult are now all part of Casimir's. And this is huge for me, because now they actually get the faction buffs, and they also count for any other Casimir's associated effects in events like, I don't know, Stronghold Protocol. But this bothers me, right? This bothers me, and to most people, this might seem like a huge update that is game-changing for Niche Knights players. And it is. It is in many ways, in a lot of ways. But it bothers me because it took everyone 5 fucking years to recognize that these units are a part of Casimir's. And they didn't recognize that purely because of their in-game faction icon, which is honestly really fucking stupid. Look, I am of the opinion that you should play a game however you want to play it. A game often has many faces to its design that appeal to different types of players. And I don't think that for most games there is a singular correct objective way of playing it. And Niche Knights kind of demonstrates that with Arknights. I mean, you can play Meta Knights, and you can kill people and murder everyone, and you can also restrict yourself to operatives of a certain faction or a certain hair color. And to me, that's what Niche Knights has always been about. It's about restricting yourself to a certain group of people, but in a way that makes the game enjoyable for you. So why the fuck do people kill each other? Why do people kill each other over which units they allow into their niche? Because for the latter half of my Kazi Friends life, no, for most of my Kazi Friends life even, I've had so many people come up to me and ask, why the hell am I including all these people in Casimir's if they don't have the in-game faction icon? Because to me, in my niche, they have a multitude of ties to it. Degenbrecher is the 3 times champion of the major, and Viviana was a pretty big character in Near Light. And I think it's stupid that people will go and harass someone, right? Harass someone because of a character's in-game faction icon. Because that's what niches are all about. You use who you want to use. You don't have to have a specific reason for it. And this is why I think this update has been meaningful, but not just in a positive way. It's also highlighted how obsessed the community has become with niche borders and what is allowed and what isn't allowed. Because I think at the end of the day, people have forgotten what makes a niche fun. People have forgotten what makes a niche a niche. And remember, niches are for fun. In fact, I actually got a crocodile here. Let me just pull him out of the box for a second.
Hey, hi, hello, how's it going? Maybe you know me, maybe you don't. In any case, I'm a friend of Shay. And when he expressed to me the things he was going through with the Arknights community in the past, I always thought it was ridiculous. And recently he reached out to me to talk about how the faction change affected him. To which at first I thought was a big, huge positive. But really it just made it more obvious just how annoying the internet can be. I suggested if he wanted to let me add a part into his video about this, and he actually gave me the liberty to fully edit this segment for myself. Before I actually go ahead and talk about something, I will say I never hold any hate towards anyone or anything. I try my best to always avoid having these feelings or even promoting these feelings. With that being said, not allowing Nerl into the Arknights niche is quite stupid. It took people 5 years to realize that Nerl is a part of Casimir's. And it wasn't even them figuring it out. They had to wait half a decade until Hypogryph would literally spell it out for them. And this goes beyond just Arknights. Why the hell do people not consider Skadi the Broken Heart as an Abyssal Hunter? Oh, well, the game doesn't actually have her benefit from the buffs, and there is no faction icon on her character screen. It's Skadi. What do you mean? My issue is in the fact that people are restricting their niche down to the specific little things. In reality, I don't really care. If anything, I think it's impressive. Because like from the very beginning, that's what niches were meant to be, right? And I understand that, I get it. The concept of grabbing one very specific idea and having it boiled down to its basics, the bare minimum, is so exciting. But like, when did the surface level of characters, the very tip of the iceberg, become the norm? And then everything else below the sea level is completely disregarded and pushed aside. Certain niches make total sense to me, like the Brawlers only, Asting 4 only, just characters that belong to these attributes and share the same thing in common. But when you go and make a niche to say who belongs in Casimir's, why do we only look at the surface level of things? And then Degenbrecher, Viviana, characters who had such strong connections to Casimir's? Is the story not enough to prove that a character belongs somewhere? Do we not realize that people, real people in the real world, can have multiple nationalities? Even I belong in 3 totally different countries. Characters are not just about what you see on the stats screen. Where someone belongs isn't just about the little icon you see on the top left of the screen, only being able to represent one small portion of this immense and complex world. And now let me bring in a personal favorite niche of mine, one that was honestly blessed with a small community, and this is actually a blessing, because I didn't have to deal with this issue. And the niche is Arknights. How do I even talk about this? Should I start by saying that Liskarm, Spot, and Vanilla are allowed in? Or by saying that if this niche was more popular, Gavial and Carnelian would likely not be included anymore? I can sorta get why Carnelian wouldn't be allowed in, but Gavial? Gavial. I know I'm just assuming things, but I have a very strong feeling that this is what would genuinely happen. People would look at Gavial, see that she is born in Sargon, is part of two separate events that represent Sargon, where she is a massive main character of both, and say, there's no Sargon icon. Not Sargon. And why do I know that? Because that's exactly what happened to Nerl! Yeah, dude, this is stupid. This is so dumb. I feel so bad that you had to go through all of this nonsense, Shay. Thank you for having me along and letting me spout my own nonsense. Because I am just picturing how I would feel if I was in your shoes, knowing damn well how people would treat Gavial the same way they've treated Nerl. Because these two share very similar things in common when it comes to being part of a niche. But because Casimir's is so much more popular than Sargon, you ended up with the worst of it. And to me, Cassie Friends was the real Cassie Knights from the very beginning. So I hope whatever decision you end up making is one that you're happy with. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. Nobody should ever tell you what to do when it comes to this. Especially not online strangers that don't seem to care about anything beyond the stat screen, and only care about what CN tells them to do. And the fact that even people from the Cropple community forever refuse to interact with you and listen to you, all the way back then, and even now, when even the literal game itself is on your side, they still disregard everything that you've ever stood for. Despite clearly having Hyperglyph be on your side, the internet is not a nice place to be in. Be around the people that do genuinely care about you, and ditch the ones who ditched you. Because Arknights is a video game! So get it twisted, come on now. If you see me, let me see it, come on.
Thank you, Hikari Q. Thank you. Go back in the box if you. Come on, get back in. So to summarize, this has been a problem that has plagued Arknights since its very inception. And I hope that with the faction change, people will stop trying to gatekeep units out of certain niches just because of an in-game icon. Now, you might be asking, what am I going to do about all this? And honestly, nothing. I'm gonna keep doing whatever the hell I want with my channel and my content and my gameplay. And I'm gonna keep using Kazi Friends. Technically, they're Casimirs now, but I mean, I'll keep calling it Kazi Friends because that's what it's always been to me. That's what I've always known it as. Against everyone shouting at me that they're not Casimirs, I've always known them as Kazi Friends, so they'll keep being Kazi Friends. Besides, Shining and Nightingale are still not Casimirs, so take that, Lamau, L. Oh, and also, Nerl the Radiant Knight is also followers now, which is pretty cool. You'd think they would have forgotten about the faction, but no. She's a part of the followers now, really cool. So yeah, from now on, I have decided I will be doubling down on Kazi Friends, and by that I mean just continue doing it, nothing's really changing it. Because it's what I love, and it's part of my channel. I mean, eventually I would like to focus less on clears, and, you know, make more diverse content. But for now, it's what I like to do, so that's what I will keep on doing. I have a few videos planned out, and I have no clue when they will release, especially given the real-life circumstances I have going on right now with my driver's ed, so we'll see. Hope you all stick around, and fuck around and wait to find out.